Behind the Shades.
Welcome to another episode of Behind the Shades. It's your host, Terraine, and we have another fantastic episode for each and every one of you. But before we get started, remember to like, subscribe, and share this incredible interview because today we're going to talk about something that went like super viral. The Katt Williams interview with Shannon Sharpe on Club Shay Shay. So a few things that stood out to me about that interview is number one, is talk your truth. Positive, negative, or indifferent. Let me adjust my microphone here so you guys can hear me nice and clear, okay? I think we live in a society where it's difficult for everyone to share what is on their mind, to speak what their heart truly desires in a way of fear of being canceled, looked down upon, even shunned by family and friends. And that's something that Katt, for the most part, was very fearless with. He looked at it and said, I'm going to criticize my peers. I'm going to criticize people that may be friends with some of my friends, right? You know them once removed. And I'm going to stand on my square right now, and I'm going to look my opponent in the eye and say, I'm not going to back down. You may have more resources than me. You may have more money than me, but you don't got more courage than me. You don't got the cojones to stand on this line and look me right in my eyes. So that's something that I really respected from that interview. And a second thing is he showed love to the people that he wanted to show love to. He clearly defined the difference between someone that he likes, someone that he doesn't like, and someone that he is indifferent to. And that second point is something I want to highlight to each and every one of you. And here's why. We know people that we can't tolerate. We know people that the only time we have conversations with them is the holiday season. We may send them a card. We may send them a thank you text. We may even say, hey, how are the children doing this time of year? But what that does is that allows people who aren't bringing anything to us to remain in our lives and create chaos. It puts us in a situation where we're allowing people to draw from us, to take from us, without replenishing our soul, our cup, our happiness, our love. It allows people to always drain us because we know damn well that they're toxic, that they're narcissistic, that they're people that if we had 2 quarters, we would tell them we don't have any if we saw them asking for change on the street. These are our family members. These are our friends. These are our exes. These are our coworkers. And your job is one of the most toxic places you'll ever be around, which is why the Katt Williams interview to me was so profound and powerful. He was talking about his work environment in many ways that we talk about our work environment when we go home in our safe space with our wife, with our husband, with our boyfriend, with our girlfriend, hell, even with our kids. When you grow up, you better not work there. I didn't bring you into this world for you to work the job that I did. How many of us have heard that from mom and dad? That's why, to me, it was such a fantastic interview. He was saying things on a global scale that many of us either thought or many of us have told someone else. We all have that coworker that is 5 seconds away from getting a 5-minute beatdown, right? We all have that. That you don't want them to try you today because today is the day that you catch a case. Today is the day that you will give in your resignation and then you would do ungodly things to that person. That's why it resonated with so many people. That's why it resonated with your common man and woman. It was like, hey, I've been there. I've endured a relationship. I've endured a coworker. I've endured a bad boss. I've endured people trying to take credit for something I did. I've endured people who have taken credit for something I've done. I've endured people that have stepped on my fingers as I thought I was climbing that ladder with them because they want to make sure that I couldn't climb it with them. There are some people in this world that the only way they would get to the top is to make sure that you don't even get on the ladder. That's what he was talking about. He was sharing his truth, and more importantly, he was sharing it in an area where he felt safe to do so. We all suffer from the fear of losing our job, being canceled, our friends leaving us, our partner leaving us, our kids maybe not looking us the same way. Because your truth, although it may be the truth, although it may be so true that it could be a fact, the difference between a fact and a truth is that one is proven and one is your situation, right? That some people don't even want to hear it. They rather be stuck in a comfortable lie than being an uncomfortable truth. How many people over the last couple of days have had something to say about Katt Williams, have had something to say about Shannon Sharpe? But out of those same people talking down on them, how many of them have talked anything about Harvey Weinstein, Jeffrey Epstein, the Epstein list, Puff Daddy, TD Jakes? The list is endless. It goes back to that Chris Rock special, right? Selective outrage. Either you're outraged at everything when it comes to suffering, or there's going to be some people who's going to pick and choose. But they pick and choose when it benefits them. Everyone has a standard, right? Some people, to make themselves sleep at night, their standard is one step below where they are. And the reason why they do that is so they don't look holier than thou, and that they're always a step above of where they don't want to be. Oh, you're doing that? I would never do that. They're one step above. Oh, you live in that neighborhood? I would never live there, but they live in 2 neighborhoods down the street. They don't have a high standard. They have a standard that they can just obtain, and then it becomes their measuring stick, as well as it helps them to separate from what they are willing to do and unwilling to do, even as it compromises their morality. And that is a true scary part, where you have people looking on what Katt has said, whether you believe everything or don't believe everything he said. But what we can respect is that he said it with conviction. He said it with a genuine approach. He said it with sincere words. And the reason why it's going to continue to resonate is because at that moment, either it's at the first 15 minutes or the last 15 minutes, each of us can pick a part in that interview that represent us.